Tofu is a cheap and a good source of protein. That is a well-known fact. It is bland in its original form, but it is really good at absorbing any flavor you throw at it. There are many different types of tofu and how to cook it, but today I'll be showing you one of my go-to tofu recipe that is crunchy, salty, and spicy. We call this tahu cabe garam or salt and pepper tofu. If you are a vegetarian, this would be a good recipe for you. So here I have a block of tofu. Preferably, you want to get the firm tofu so it's better when you handle it and it won't crumble apart easily. The tofu usually comes in a package with water inside. You want to throw the liquid away and rinse it again with water. Mine is already rinsed, so let's cut the tofu. I'm cutting it to little square bite-sized pieces. Each piece is not too big and not too small. I think it's just the right size. Tofu is usually bland in taste, so to give it a little bit of flavor, you want to soak it in salty water. Here I have prepared myself a pan filled with warm water. I'm just going to add half a tablespoon of salt and boil the diced tofu with it. I'll be cooking this for about 5 minutes just so the tofu can absorb the flavor from the salt. Also, by cooking it, it's going to make the tofu firmer. When it's done, rinse it and let it cool down. Let's get a bowl and crack an egg. Just beat it loosely with a fork. This will act as a glue that holds the flour coating. After the tofu has cooled down, dab it with a cloth or paper towel to get most of the moisture out. Once you're done, transfer it to a bowl and add in about half of the egg to coat the tofu. Thoroughly coat all sides of the tofu and be careful not to crumble it. Moving on, prepare a large plate and add about 5 tablespoons of cornstarch or enough to cover up the plate. Distribute it evenly, then add in the tofu. I'm adding it a little bit at a time, giving it some space for each one. Sprinkle some more cornstarch on top, then coat all the sides, making sure they're all covered with flour. This will make the tofu has a crunchy coating that makes it extra delicious. Let's fry the tofu using high heat. Make sure the oil is hot before putting in the tofu. Gently put the tofu to the oil. You want to give some space for the tofu and try not to stir it too much until it hardens a bit. Flip the tofu occasionally so all the sides cook evenly. When the tofu reaches a golden brown color and has a hard shell, take it out and strain the oil. But we're not done yet. Let's prepare the stir-fry ingredients. I have 3 cloves of garlic here that I'm gonna chop to small pieces. Here I'm using 3 different types of chili pepper. It will make the dish more colorful and also because I love spicy food. Add in as much or as little as you like. If you can't handle too much heat but you want the colorful color, take out the seeds or you can substitute it with bell pepper. Lastly, cut a stalk of green onion. I'm using the bottom part, the light green white part of the stalk since it's packed with most of the flavor. Finally, the last step is to stir fry it. Let's add a little bit of oil, just about 2 tablespoons. Now using low heat, add the chopped garlics. The reason to use low heat is to make the garlic have this crunchy texture. If you're using high heat, the garlic will get brown too fast and it will be more soggy. Constantly stir it because you want to cook it evenly. When the garlic turns to a crispy golden brown, set it aside, then turn up the heat. Add in the chili peppers and green onion. Stir it for about 30 seconds, then add the tofu. Season it with salt, stock powder, and white pepper powder. Mix everything together evenly and taste test it. If it needs more salt, add in more salt, and so on. You know, I've been using a lot of stock powder because it's popular where I live. You can use chicken bouillon, or if you're a vegetarian, you can use mushroom stock powder. After a couple of tosses, this crunchy, spicy tofu is ready to eat. This smells so good. My husband and I love this spicy, crispy, but tender tofu. Eat this with warm rice and I'll definitely go for seconds. You can also use the same seasonings and substitute the tofu with chicken or shrimp instead, but I think I will save that for another day. If you're on a low budget and need something scrumptious, this tofu is the way to go. Enjoy! I would rate this 9.1 for the taste and 8 for its simpleness to cook.
Udah?